The following program is a production of HEW Entertainment and contains views, opinions, commentaries, and content that may offend some subscribers of this show. Listener discretion is advised.
It's that time once again for HEW Entertainment Radio.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Hosted by Jonathan Clarke.
The beat! The man! You gotta beat the man! Whoa!
Be sure to join us in the live chat room during the show.
Hulkamania is running wild like it's never ran before.
Call us on one of our request lines. If you live in the United States, call us at 1-641-985-7800, box number 3729288. If you're from Canada and would like to call us from 1-647-724-4194, box number 3729288. Long distance charges may apply in some areas.
I've been the world heavyweight champion 10 times.
Or you can always drop us a line at MySpace, myspace.com/HEW Entertainment.
And you will rest in peace.
Emailing us works for you too. Email us hewwrestling@hotmail.com.
I am a wrestling god. JBL.
And now, without any further ado, here is your host of HEW Entertainment Radio on the official website of HEW Entertainment, Jonathan Clarke.
The champ is here.
Streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. HEW Entertainment Radio is inviting you to comment on our video blogs, join the conversation, and like us. So what are you waiting for? Log on and listen now. Don't miss out on any of the action. Download our app on the App Store, Google Play, and the official website of HEW Entertainment. Once you download and install it, you'll get caught up on news, YouTube videos, and more. Download it now.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
We have to try and hashtag dream match this week because that's what we're talking about. One of the biggest dream matches perhaps of all time, The Rock and Brock Lesnar, one of my favorite dream matches to talk about. And for those of you who have had a tendency to creep me, at least within the last 5 years, one thing that you've taken away from me is that I'm the biggest dream match fan in the world, hopefully. And one of the biggest dream matches that I want to see is The Rock and Brock Lesnar because it's a match that's been 15 years in the making. I can't even believe I just said that. 15 years we've wanted to see The Rock and Brock Lesnar's rematch from SummerSlam 02. It has not happened, at least not yet. And I think it would be so fun to see The Rock and Brock Lesnar, with Brock Lesnar having defeated The Rock in their previous match that preceded the dream match that obviously would happen. I think it would be awesome seeing just how creative the storyline would be, just how fun and unpredictable the match would be, with how funny The Rock has gotten in recent years, at least for the last 5 years. He's never been funnier than when he has been recently on the microphone in WWE. There's nobody that you could give the microphone to, with the exception of probably Chris Jericho, that could hold a candle to what The Rock says in his promos, and that really makes the storyline between Brock Lesnar and The Rock, if it were to happen within this generation, that much more fun and that much more unpredictable. And it would also give us a fantastic opportunity to reintroduce legends that people probably aren't familiar with in this new generation. It would be so fun seeing it. I've been the biggest fan of both The Rock and Brock Lesnar for years. Some years I've been fans of Brock Lesnar, some years I've been fans of The Rock. And the thing is, I think these two icons clashing in 2016, 2017 will be probably the biggest dream match that we've wanted to see in a really long time. There's nobody out there that can tell me The Rock just came back to solidify his legacy with a victory over John Cena at WrestleMania and to become champion, because there's so much of an opportunity, so much of a chance out there for The Rock left to create with so many wrestlers that he never had the chance to create with before. Probably the Wyatt family. That would be so fun, seeing The Rock creating with Bray Wyatt. How about The Rock and Dean Ambrose if it even wasn't Brock Lesnar? I mean, there was so much of a chance for The Rock to create with. Think about how funny and entertaining a program between Dean Ambrose and The Rock would be if it were to happen. I'm the biggest Dean Ambrose fan in the world. I'm the biggest Rock fan in the world. You clash the two, and I think pay-per-view buy rates and subscribers to the WWE Network will go through the roof. The morale of WWE will be significantly boosted. And to make a prediction, if this match were to happen between The Rock and, say, Brock Lesnar, it's really hard to determine who actually would win this match, with how much Brock Lesnar was over from his reputation in the UFC and previously playing football. Of course, his career that preceded this run with WWE back in 2002. He stayed with them for 2.5 years, became champion, and dominated against everyone he was put in the ring against. So it's really hard to decipher with the reputation that Brock Lesnar has. One would say The Rock would win to redeem his loss to Brock Lesnar preceding this dream match if it ever were to happen. And I can understand why people would have that philosophy with The Rock and Brock Lesnar's dream match, because The Rock has never beaten Brock Lesnar, and that's kind of haunted him and followed him everywhere he's went. We have never seen an altercation on TV live between The Rock and Brock Lesnar. There was an altercation between The Rock and Brock Lesnar a number of years ago that was not televised, and it was posted on YouTube. The video, actually, I posted it, I believe, some time ago on my Facebook page at HCW Entertainment, and I tweeted it on Twitter for you guys at Jonathan Clarke. When it was pretty intense, there really wasn't much said in the way of a promo. It was just The Rock and Brock Lesnar face-to-face. Paul Heyman was in the ring. I think Brock Lesnar had actually issued a challenge to Randy Orton or John Cena, who were feuding for the championship at that point in time. The Rock interrupted Brock Lesnar, and the two of them just went face-to-face, kind of like Batista and Goldberg did a couple of years ago on Monday Night Raw. So they kind of teased the whole idea of The Rock and Brock Lesnar's dream match happening. But I think teasing it is just leaving us in the dark, and we want to have answers to whether or not this match is going to happen. Now, there are people who would draw a conclusion and say The Rock and Brock Lesnar's dream match does not need to happen, but I am one who's going to go out on record and say this match needs to happen. There's the graphic for you. I've chosen the WrestleMania sign to put in the background for that. I think WrestleMania would be the appropriate venue for this match to happen, because we waited forever for this match to happen. And hey, if The Rock and John Cena can happen at WrestleMania, if Goldberg and The Rock can happen shortly after WrestleMania, why not have The Rock and Brock Lesnar's rematch happen at WrestleMania? It's big enough, and the morale, like I said, WWE will be boosted through the roof. So many people will be talking about it. People will prefer Brock Lesnar to win. People will prefer The Rock to win. There are so many ways this one could go, and there are probably other dream matches that you probably got in the back of your mind that could happen as opposed to The Rock and Brock Lesnar if it didn't happen. Probably The Rock and Dean Ambrose is probably one that you wanted to see. The Rock and Bret Hart is another one you wanted to see. Like I said, so many people The Rock has left out there that he has yet to create with. We've never seen The Rock and Bret Hart, for instance, although it has no chance of happening because of Bret Hart's stroke and his health condition, of course, just recently, of course, recovering from cancer and that successful surgery. There's pretty much no chance of that happening, but I mean, The Rock and Dean Ambrose is still out there, and The Rock and one of the members of the Wyatt family, most notably Bray Wyatt, from the segment at WrestleMania 32 when The Rock came out, lit his name on fire, and then John Cena comes out and helps The Rock when he was being beat down by the Wyatt family. Either that or John Cena and The Rock take on the entire Wyatt family in a 4-on-2 handicap match at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, wherever. Probably The Rock, John Cena go out and get tag team partners like The Undertaker and Kane. There's so many ways that The Rock's next storyline could go, but like I said, there's nobody out there that can tell me that this is it for The Rock, this is it for Dwayne Johnson. You can't honestly say to me The Rock signed a contract with one sole purpose, to come back and solidify his legacy, and that was it, and say sayonara to his career. I mean, yeah, The Rock was criticized for years. Obviously, that haunted and followed The Rock everywhere he went. People were asking him if he was ever going to wrestle again, and The Rock took to Facebook a number of years ago, said he never planned to wrestle no more, and then a lot of people were left in the dark about it, and The Rock turned around then and signed a multi-million-dollar deal with WWE to come back and wrestle for the first